For those who have no idea what we're talking about, Big Booty Land is Coachella, for example. We went in to do like a sound check 2 nights before our set. It was the first time testing out this new stage design we had. A spaceship lifts up into the air. And it was the first time testing out the lift where we go up and come back down. And when it like landed, the mixer and all the CDJs just shut off immediately and stopped working.
It was just like a car crash.
Who are the top 3 colleges that you guys have performed at?
We haven't been asked this in a while.
Or maybe top 5. Is
Okay,
right.
top 5. Yeah.
Well, the big caveat is,
At what point did you guys realize Big Booty Mix was more than just a mix?
It's a good question. I don't know if there was like a super specific moment. I think, it was kind of a slow build where we did volume 1 and there was excitement about it. So we're like, all right, volume 2, here we go. And it's like a little gradual build around the double digits, like 10, 11. There was definitely, a little more of a kind of a growing cult following.
How do you see that? Are you seeing just numbers on Spotify grow?
honestly, more so, I think you kind of see the whole picture. So that's like, shows, like whether people start like requesting things, they're like get more excited. You'll see tweets being like, oh my God, you guys have to play Big Booty Mix 11, like as if we're gonna play like a whole mix, like at a show or whatever. I would say definitely in terms of like just like fan base felt like it was growing, but it's almost like a delayed reaction, like when a mix comes out, it's not till like a year later that like that mix translates to if people were like, oh my God, diehards about it. So like 11 was a big one for us, and that came out, I don't even know exactly what year that came out,
Like 2016,
17,
yeah.
but like the year after it was like, oh people are like really like that one, or they like certain parts. So it was kind of a slow burn, like it wasn't obvious, we just kind of kept at it.
Because when something hits, sometimes people want to stray away or do something different, but you guys leaned in to give the people what they want.
Yeah, we tried to like kind of, evolve on it over the years. So,
right.
That is in 10 different ways. Like at first we're literally in college, and we're just like, all right, Big Booty Mix Volume 1. We're just like starting to make remixes, starting to make originals, but we're like, all right, we don't want to give up like these edits and mashups so quick. So that's how kind of the hour long, we put them all in one mix, came together. But then, as we graduated and like it started getting a life of its own, we started doing more shows. We put more time, more energy. And then like really during COVID was a big turning point. First of all, people were home. The mixes definitely blew up a lot more then. And we would like do these like live premiere concert things. So like it would be like we'd rent a warehouse. We would get production, get lights, video, like really go deep into like the whole, as if it's a performance, and people could like buy tickets, watch at home. Like it was cool, like super community vibe. And then when COVID was kind of wrapping, we wanted to continue that, and we started Big Booty Land, which has been like the premieres of the mixes in person. So it's like that, but taking to like these massive concerts. So it's kind of taken a life, and we've tried to continually develop it and find out like, okay, what's the new avenue for it, rather than just doing the exact same thing always.
When people show up, how many came to Big Booty Land last time?
Well, we've been changing cities. So basically how it's been,
we've done 5. We did a few virtual during COVID, so it was like no audience, but you could buy tickets, watch online. And then we did the debut in-person Big Booty Land concert premiere was Volume 22 in Boston. Then we moved it to Chicago, then LA. Then we did Madison Square Garden in New York. Then the most recent one was Seattle in May, and that was like 10,000 people. And
we just announced
the next one, Chicago, May, Northerly Island, which is actually, we're coming back to Northerly Island. And
trying to build it there a bit, because it was really awesome one. It was really fun.
For those who have no idea what we're talking about, Big Booty Land is like, it's kind of just a special type of show for us, where we premiere a new Big Booty Mix. We kind of go all out. We design a whole show around it. We bring out our drummers. We have our saxophonists, special guests, have like mascot characters, activations. It's
like a whole world. It's fun.
So like those are like a premiere show that a lot of teamwork goes into making, bringing.
But that's kind of, they stem from the Big Booty Mixes. And like obviously we have other big shows as well, and there's more overlap than people might think of, like a Big Booty Land versus another big Two Friends show. But it has a unique flavor to it, and people get hyped.
How do you guys go about writing the mixes and figuring out what goes into it?
I think honestly, a lot of it is just trial and error. Like we're working on volume 27. So at this point we kind of have it down to like a, just kind of like a mental step-by-step list of what we got to do. And one of the early steps is gather a lot of material. So that means, check in what the current top songs are right now, asking friends, well, hey, what songs do you think we should use that we haven't used? Honestly, we're like, you in the car, on the radio, you hear a song, we're like, oh, that would be good to use. Let's jot that down. So you kind of just like gather a lot of material. And then a big step is just playing around and like putting this vocal with this instrumental and seeing if it sounds good. If it does, write it down. And then we like gather a huge batch of ideas and we start to whittle it down to like, these ones are mediocre. Let's get rid of them. These are the best of the best. Cool. We have a blueprint now.
And this is the two of you in your studio whittling
this
it
is,
down?
yeah, we kind of, we have like a process of start doing this, send it to him. He sends it back. Like we kind of have it down to, a good routine.
But it has changed over the years. Like now we've been like making a lot of pieces that we think we want to put in a Big Bootie mix and like basically starting to play them live in sets way before they're in the mix, almost like as a testing ground, but also knowing like, oh, this is going to go off. Like people are going to love this. Let's start playing it now. Let's tease it for Big Bootie and stuff. So the process is always like shifted a little bit.
As we've gotten older though, we do need to rely on like the younger generation to help us out too. Cause I feel like when we first, volume 1 was, we were freshmen in college. So like we knew all the most current, like, hip hop songs and every genre. And now sometimes we literally have to like text. I mean, your younger brother's not even not young anymore, but we'll be like, hey, like what does everyone like? We know what we like, but we're like, we want to make sure we could still, get the college kids, get all the demographics.
It's a fine line because like we grew up on everything. Like, electronic music was just starting to emerge. So like we did like that stuff, but he was like hip hop. I was like classic rock. We kind of got into country. So, we want to we always want to trust our taste. And like, if we really like something, we'll be like, all right, it doesn't matter what other people might think or whatever. It's like, we got us this far. We got to just like, trust our instincts. But it's fine line because, if you have like a wide range in age demographic, it's like some people will not know this song and some people will not know that song. So you want
to make sure it's, even if you don't necessarily know it, it's still enjoyable.
I was going to say,
I'd say you do have good instincts where there's some times where there is a song that like, people are requesting it always, but it's kind of a little like too current and not necessarily timeless.
You can't tell if it's going to be a TikTok fad or a song.
And so sometimes it's like, I'll try like 4 different attempts to be like, to sneak it in there, be like, do you like this? Do you like that? And every time you're kind of like, no.
Or sometimes I'm like, wait, no, this new song is going to be huge. Like we're a little early on it, but like, let's do it.
There are a couple like Disney movie soundtrack songs that
I've
tried for 12 years to get
one.
Like what? Some have made it in. I know but actually now I'm even forgetting. Did Hercules finally make it in?
I think it did. Did it?
Hercules was the example, and now I don't even.
He would send me some edits of like this Hercules like
I
thing,
can go the
and
distance.
I was like, I literally responded. I have like 3 hours of notes. It's literally he'll send me like 300 files, and I'm just like on a plane ride going for 3 hours. And I wish I could find it. Maybe at the end of this we'll go find.
Please.
The note was like, after like hundreds of lines of like, yes, but change this, yes for this for other edits. This one I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I cannot believe you sent this to me with a straight face.
It hurt. As I was looking through his feedback, I'm like, damn, number 77. That
one needed to sting so that, you can think twice.
Now I'm super careful when I take risks like that.
You can always take risks around me.
What's up, guys? Real quick, this episode is brought to you by Aonic. Aonic provides clean hydration crafted with magnesium, electrolytes, and real fruit juice. Made for those looking to get the most out of hydration. We've got some sparkling passion fruit, some sparkling orange, and a sparkling raspberry. Aonic is developing the world's most advanced ecosystem for functional nutrition to make healthy living enjoyable. Aonic delivers pure science-driven nutrition, and every formula targets a clear need and delivers benefits you can feel. What I love most about it is that there's no pixie dusting of ingredients, which means they only use clinical validated dosages. Plus, it's third-party verified. Independent labs test every batch and they publish the results. It's got premium natural ingredients from real cacao and vanilla in Aonic Fuel to real fruit juice in Aonic Revive. Plus, the best part, low calories, baby. Only 15 calories in this whole can. Delicious taste, zero artificial, low in sugar and calories. No caffeine or added sugars, no artificial sweeteners, no GMOs. It's just the right amount of fruit juice compared to sweetness. It's really good. We've got some chromium, some B vitamins, some zinc. I love drinking it after a hike. I love drinking it after pickleball. It's really, really good. So if you want to try it, it's going to be linked down below. Stay hydrated, my friends. Now back to the podcast. How does the dynamic work between the two of you? Like, what roles do each of you take on?
There's so much to do. Like,
how big is your team?
Pretty big. I mean, we have there's different people. There's like the management side, so we have some people there. We have the touring side, so that's like tour manager, videographer, which actually helps on the other stuff too. Our saxophonist, depending on the show, like there's the whole drum line side. A couple shows we have other instrumentalists. Then we have you have a VJ, LD, production manager people.
Are these most of the time the same people? The same
team?
We really do try to work with the same people because we love, our core team. So I would say the core group, when we just do like a quick club show, maybe is usually 5 of us.
At this point,
maybe six. The 2 of us, our tour manager, our photo video guy, our saxophonist, and then our like VJ lighting guy. But like for a big festival, like we did Lollapalooza, and it was one of our biggest like productions and endeavors, and I think that crew got up to like 50 or 60.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just so
which is rare. That's not like we
are
that's not a normal show.
That's because you want to show up for that?
Want to show up. Want to you kind of circle certain things on the calendar every year that are like, all right, these are some chances to really show what we're all about. And you want to invest in it. You want to spend the money, put on, make a statement and kind of let that hopefully, speak for the next time you're going to come back to that city. People are like, oh, they went big. So Lollapalooza was one where we're like, all right, we need to do some special stuff. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work. We had a lot of people, a lot of moving parts, but it was cool to see it all come together. And like, we felt proud of like, this is a 1 hour of 2 friends. This is the kind of like the best of the best.
This is us.
Yeah.
And it was a fun night.
Yeah. And there's plenty of examples of those, you have a few a year where you take a whole swing. I mean, we had a bus tour Q1 of 2025, and like that's one where like you're kind of doing a big show on Tuesdays, like always, because you're bringing your production. Financially it makes more sense, like where you can actually, bring a whole team to a city on a Monday, where like not necessarily if you're not on a bus tour you can do. So like stuff like that is cool, and then you really can really throw the show you want. But we also do, club stuff, which is so fun, where you kind of show up, plug and play, rock and roll, so it's cool getting both sides of it.
And then to go back, what roles do each of you take on?
Yeah, sorry.
Like, we totally
no.
on a tangent.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much stuff to do. That's how it started. Yeah. It's like, we have Big Bootie Mixes. We have our original music. We have remixes. We have live show stuff, setting up for sets, like prepping things. So it's like there is unlimited. If we had like 5 of each of us, there's plenty to do. You know what I mean?
We're definitely very happy. Like we tip our cap to the people that are solo, not in duo, because even with 2 people, it's obviously still a grind. But I think at this point, I mean, first of all, we started as friends first before we were ever like music partners or business partners or anything like that. So
were you best friends at the time?
Best friends at the time.
Wow.
And this was like, we're hanging out every weekend, messing around anyway. And we both like music. We both started to like electronic music a little, and we're just kind of like literally hanging out, messing around, being like, oh, what if we started a music duo? So I think that gave us like an advantage right off the bat of just kind of knowing how to communicate with each other, how to
we didn't have
operate.
Like a professional career before, so we didn't each have our own habits. We kind of, our habits grew together.
Yeah. We're like a married couple. But then, so I think over the years, it was just kind of certain unspoken things of like, all right, we know if this thing we're going to do together, and it's important that we're both part of this bigger picture conversation and blah, blah, blah.
Or it's more efficient to do it this way or that way.
But then, oh, this thing, okay, Matt, this is in your wheelhouse, go do this. This thing, Eli, I'm going to go knock it out real quick. Then I'll email it to you. You sign off, whatever.
So whatever feels natural.
It's not even natural. Like if you give us a specific task, I'll just tell you how we're going to get it done. We don't even have to explain. You know what I mean? We just kind of know the best way to do it.
And over the years, you were asking about the team. Like you slowly build out the team. So it starts out where it was literally just the 2 of us, no managers, no nothing. And I think that's very important and very fun of like entrepreneurial. You're learning every part of the music side, the business side, all of it. And so like you understand how a lot of these roles, you know, what they need to do and how to be successful. And then you start bringing on people and you almost like, not in a bad way, but you can kind of hold people accountable of like, hey, we kind of know how to do some of that. Like, let's, you know, help bring some extra value, you know, and you start kind of piecing together your team. And the goal is, you know, as much, give us as much time as we can to be creative, because sometimes it's like, there's so much going on and a lot of it's exciting and fun and like worth it. But you're like, okay, at the end of the day, you got to make sure you're like using your creative juice.
It's super hard to find that creative juice time. Like it's hard to jump in out of calls and do this, that, and then like spend like an hour on something. It's like, no, you got to like wake up, work out, get your coffee and like hit it. If you actually want to crush it, for us, I've seen, and those days are few and far between, you know, the social media, filming things, red eyes, like all these things kind of are fighting you. So you try to structure your life in the best way possible. And I would say we don't always win that battle. It's really hard.
We lose the battle sometimes.
I'd say we lose the battle more often.
Where we get to the end of the day, you know, it's like 6 p.m. and we're like, we haven't like done any music today.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, tomorrow we're going to, you know, we'll answer a couple urgent things tonight, get them out of our court. But like tomorrow, guys, don't bother us for, you know, at least half the day. Let us get going. And then,
hard.
You know,
some artists have a different balance and other things get done and, you know, whatever. But I don't know. We've always been very in the weeds. And like, honestly, we always want to be able to take a step back and delegate more and more. And that's always a goal. And I think every year it's, you know, as things have been added on our plate, like we try to like, you know, get things off our plate. But that's such a battle. Like the people who are best at that in music and business, whatever, it's like it's cheat code.
They say don't go in business with your friends. So you guys went in business with your best friends.
There you go.
I mean, yeah, we were 17 and 18 years old at the time. So I don't know if that advice would have.
Well, you said you said like a married couple. I say more like we're like high school sweethearts who don't know anything else. You know what I mean? We never
did we get married?
Yes.
Oh,
we
still
got married.
Okay.
We've never been with anyone else, and we just don't know what it's like. But we're very happy.
Are you saying you're interested in testing the water?
No.
Yeah, no, but so that's, you know,
maybe let's add a third. 3 friends.
That's what's been fun about it too. Is like obviously from the start we were like wanted to take it seriously, and you know it was fun, but it wasn't just like a joke hobby. It was like, all right, let's take this seriously and see what happens. And I think the momentum, like the little baby steps where there wasn't nothing crazy was happening, but it was like, you know, you post a song on SoundCloud and it starts to get a little momentum and you're like, okay, like that kind of just like naturally fuels you to keep going. And then a year goes by and you look back and you're like, oh, cool, we actually did X, Y, and Z. And then 5 years go by and all of a sudden you're like, wow, like, you know, like, of course we're going to keep going. So I think we were lucky in that we never really had a moment where we're like, okay, if this doesn't happen, then I guess it's not meant to be. It was kind of like, even when we weren't making money for a long time, at least we could see that it was in the right direction. And we're like, all right, like,
yeah. But we got like lucky in that sense of like, we never had to make that really hard decision, which is obviously a thing, you know, like even after college, we're like, okay, we're going to just release a song every single month and do our best on the branding and social media and everything, and just like that's all we can do, you know, try our best. And like luckily it just like kind of caught up. We were just started doing enough shows, we're like, all right, this is moving. But like it wasn't obvious always of like this is gonna keep going, you know, and explode. So it's you know, it's a little bit of luck, a little bit of just like consistency, I think.
Obviously, financials and pursuing your dreams of being a musician is tough, but can we go back to the day where you got that first big paycheck where you're like, whoa, I feel like we're on something?
That's a funny thing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, you know, your perspective and the goalposts move, but I think one at the time I remember was a high school thing. Or it was like
Which one are you talking about?
Like a boarding school thing. We were still in college, and it was that boarding school on the East Coast.
Is that one I did alone?
No, we did it together.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was $3,000. And I remember at the time, I think, you know, we were getting like a couple $100 and it was like a college, it was like our own college parties.
And with flights and everything, you end up losing it all anyway.
But still, I always thought of a DJing as like, I don't know. I remember thinking like, well, $3,000. Like that's, I had never spent $3,000 on anything. So I was like, that's like a lot of money to bring us out to like play a party. And yeah, like Matt said, like after you pay for flights and everything, and maybe we had to give commission to
Commissions,
someone,
all
and
this stuff,
It's
yeah.
like, okay, you actually didn't make any money. But
It's like, huh,
I just remember
that's
being like,
cool.
okay, like that was for one show. Like if we could like,
If we could do this every
build
day.
some demand and like do this, like,
Right.
you
But it's funny, the goalposts always move, and it's not only financially, it's in streams, it's whatever, it's like whatever you're trying to do, and it's like, you know, you're always comparing yourself. People compare themselves to other people, but also you compare yourself to yourself, which is, I think, actually dangerous and scary. And it's like, shit, if you just like aren't like constantly in every single facet moving forward, it gives you a stress. You know, you feel like your nervous system. So it's when you ask like, what is that one moment? It's like there more so that there's like a million like small moments.
This was funny. There was one of our first ever Vegas shows. The guy that was like kind of the liaison guy was walking us to the DJ booth to get the show started, and he made some comment. He was just like joking around. He's like I'm so glad I got you now and like got you at a good price because you guys are crushing it. And so from his side, he was thinking like he underpaid, but for us, it was literally the highest paying gig we'd ever had. And so we're like, damn, like this was already the sickest show. Like, and now we just learned that maybe they could have paid more.
By the sickest show, this was 2017.
Yeah, this was, yeah.
I don't think there was one person looking at us. It was just a lot of people that
We
were
invited our own friends. They
Oh,
were
our
having a
own
good time.
friends were our own friends ended up being like throwing up in the bathroom vibe.
But it was also funny because the guy just like it was the most low key Vegas party of all time. The guy kind of just dropped us off and was like, "All right, here you go. Like, start whenever
We're
you
just
want."
like,
It was almost like, "I'll pick you up in a couple hours."
yeah, our
like, have
laptop.
fun.
We were selling laptops
Yeah.
at that point, and like it was overheating. They tried to get like an
it
ice
was-
bucket. It
It was
was
bootleg, but it was fun.
yeah, super fun.
Is that at a venue or what is
This
it?
was what hotel
That
was
at
this?
Link Hotel.
Link
This was a
Hotel.
long time
I don't
ago,
even
yeah.
think they do shows.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know.
Other than the obvious of the pressures, and just the size difference, but what's the biggest differences between doing a Coachella set versus a frat party?
They're definitely different, but like Matt said earlier, like we love kind of that we have the diversity of type of events where, you know, they're both fun and like helpful in their own ways, obviously. I would say in terms of how you prep for it, it's much different. Like a Coachella or, you know, a Lollapalooza or, you know, one of those big ones is a lot more involved of like all departments. You know, you're coordinating stuff with the lighting team and the visual team, and you know, you're planning firework moments. So it's a little more like specific. And we even, you know, like we brought out the drummers to some of the shows, so we're rehearsing the day before in a warehouse.
You know, you have stage production.
And
crazy
those I would
stuff.
say are, you know, we've done so many shows that we don't really get nervous a lot, but there's a few shows every now and then where it's like, you just hope nothing goes wrong. And we feel like ready, like we're like, all right, we know what we're going to do, but some of it is just up to the technology gods of like, I hope this cable doesn't lose its connection and the screens turn off. And like, cause you know, that like
Has that happened?
Luckily,
Well, I mean, it's
small
happened.
small
100%.
things happen.
Yeah.
Nothing that was like so brutal.
But there
that-
has been things in the last minute. You
Yeah.
know,
where
the
the
11th hour.
heroes on our team fix it. But like Coachella, for example, we went in to do like a sound check 2 nights before our set, and it was the first time testing out this new stage design we had, where it was like a spaceship design that lifts up into the air. And it was the first time testing out the lift, where we go up and come back down. And on the way down, it was like pretty jerky. And when it like landed, the mixer and all the CDJs just shut off immediately and stopped working.
it was just like a car crash. Like,
And it was like, and you know, this is just during a sound check. We're like, like, what just happened? And no, like the only answer was like, yeah, it was just pretty jerky. We need to make sure it. And so like, we're like, okay, well, you know, hopefully, I remember in the real show, it's on, we filmed the set, it's on YouTube. I wonder if you scroll to that part, I'm like holding the decks and like, please don't
he's
turn
trying to
off,
like cushion it.
yeah, I'm like soft landing my
Oh,
babies.
I forgot about that.
And-
I was so scared about
but,
that. Wow.
so that's that side of it. And then the frat show is like, I mean, that's like where we got our DJing roots. When we were first starting out, we were still in college, and it was like really fun. We got to see a lot of the country. We got to see a lot of colleges, campuses, and do these parties where it's like low pressure because they're just all having a fun time, but you just want to, you want to give them the best time. So I think those are like much different style of show, but very fun. And I think we take it seriously too, because you want to put on a good impression for those kids, because then they're going to graduate and live in those cities, and now you come and you do the venue or the club, and it's those kids that are now a little older. So we've tried to build the Two Friends pipeline.
Who are the top 3 colleges that you guys have performed at?
We haven't been asked this in a while.
Or maybe top 5. If
Okay,
you
top
have.
5. Well, the big caveat is we are saying a specific like fraternity show or a specific event. So it's not necessarily a blanket
we might not get the full picture
on
of
the
each
whole
college.
school.
Yeah.
There's been definitely a lot, like hundreds of like, whoa.
There have been a few of the like they will live in the legendary.
Okay, I'm gonna name
lore.
a few. We'll switch off.
Yeah.
Okay, we did Miami, Ohio, Brick Street, which is like, I think an iconic bar at this point.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
That was
I remember
crazy.
insane. Like people were like jumping literally off the walls, off the balcony. Like it was crazy.
We did one. I don't even know what frat it was, but somewhere at Indiana.
Yeah.
Where it was like. We I guess we just weren't used to that level of like chaos. Where,
I think I crowd surfed that one.
Yeah, we like as we were even like walking in from the green room, which is just like a frat bedroom. As we're walking in to like start the show, it was just like it felt like we were walking into like a Super Bowl entrance, like going through the tunnel.
I remember this one was, I think this was right after COVID or as things were opening, Michigan.
Yep.
All right, this one was insane, like literally insane. There was no stage, like nothing, and we're in the green room, aka the president's bedroom, and our tour manager like went out to go sound check with our saxophonist, and it's just like, there's nothing here, like I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm like, okay, let's try our best. So he basically found like a beer pong table, like literally built a stage, threw some CDJs on it. We walked out like an hour later to it was like a sea of people. There was 3 houses. This was in the middle of the backyard of all 3 houses. All the roofs were covered. Like
With
people
yeah,
were
yeah.
just on top of it. I think it was cold too.
Yeah.
Like it was just insane. Like a
Right.
swarm.
Okay, is it
Michigan.
3?
That was
And-
3.
Okay, 2 more. Ooh,
There's so many good ones. We're gonna leave some
I
out.
know.
Dayton was really good.
Dayton was
We had
good,
one
yeah.
show in Ohio, and at
Okay,
Dayton
and
was
then one
amazing.
more?
I'm thinking.
Oh.
I mean, we had some unreal ones at Texas.
Yeah,
at
I was gonna
UT.
say UT Austin. We had one where it was one of the sweatiest nights of our life. It
Oh
was
my
a
God.
Halloween party, and
Yeah.
we were wearing like onesies that were
I was either in like a SpongeBob or Minion onesie.
yeah, and oh god, we were just
Drenched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a mix of the environment and the crowd and
It's a mix of all of those. Yeah. It's like how hard do they want to go?
But that's why sometimes the almost like the unexpected show sometimes ends up being the most fun, because sometimes if you're going to like a city or a college campus where they might not like get a lot of concerts coming through, they're not like a major market. I think sometimes you see they're just like so much more excited and appreciative and like just ready to go. So like you kind of never know. And like we said, that's like part of the fun part of, sometimes it's stressful being on the road, early flights and late nights, but like you get to check out, we always call it like a slice of life. So you check out a part of the country or even international where it's like, we never would have seen this otherwise. And this is pretty cool. We're getting, we're able to come here and like, let everyone have a great time and basically just party.
I can't tell you how many highways we've walked down in Alabama or Arkansas trying to find like any place that was open for food.
But
Like,
then you're just like, you know what? This is
I'm like,
yeah.
but
what?
then you like you sit
like,
back and you're like, where am I?
Well,
and
this
why
is
am
our
I?
job.
This is ridiculous.
Work brought us here.
Yeah, crazy.
is there any movie that encapsulates that energy of the crazy college party vibe show?
I mean, I think the obvious answer would be like a Project X or something, right?
Have you had a Project X style party?
I think like that Michigan one was like that vibe.
What were the people doing? Were people jumping off the roof?
I hope not, because it was a tall house. I mean, people were just like, I think it was like the first week of school. People were just like getting after it. But
Yeah, that was the summer of like 2021 and the fall of 2021, right when things were opening back up after COVID, was just like some of the craziest shows, because it was literally like animals pent up, ready to just like they hadn't partied, and there were some
100% agreed.
There were some crazy.
That was
ones.
probably the craziest. Like if you're gonna do a show at the exact same place in 2019 and that time right then, the show is gonna be very noticeably different. Same people, same everything.
What do you think is the most shocking thing about being a DJ now?
Maybe this is not shocking. I think some people might be surprised to learn how, and this is true for us, but like a lot of our peers, how different your like normal weekly routine is compared to when you're doing shows, which are usually on the weekends, not, sometimes weekdays, but like we're going to bed at 10 p.m. and sometimes we're awake at 6 a.m. and we're like, we treat the workday like seriously. So we're usually like, working
business to get done.
Yeah. Like we're not like, oh, let's go hang out at the beach all day.
Right. The work isn't like the shows. I mean, that is work, but it's really like being in the studio and like
working on music, working on all of it.
How often is that throughout the week now?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and like, we try to like really stick to it. So even sometimes we'll have a show on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so we land and it's Monday morning. We're like, all right, like let's get to it. Like,
Yeah, that was kind of this week and I'm so dead.
Yeah.
We had Vegas Friday.
Is that residency?
Yeah. That was at it's been a long week. EBC. Yeah. Encore Beach Club at the Wynn. That was fun. Then we did LA, luckily hometown. Oh, it's great.
Which
you can
venue?
sleep in your own bed. It was a club, Academy.
Okay.
Super fun. And then we had a red eye to Baltimore where we did a tailgate for like Monday Night Football.
Is that right after the show, the LA show?
We luckily had like most of our Sunday and then came and then flew at 6 a.m. Last night back to the studio.
That's the grind.
life.
That's what we love.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in general, just like, I think some DJs obviously are a little more of, party animals
But they get stuff done somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I think we are like, we're pretty quiet in our like weekday life. And so like sometimes if people, if we do have a weekend off from shows and people are like, you want to go to this club or whatever, like, no, like that's like we go enough. We're going to like just take it easy.
I'm gonna go golfing.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to dinner. Chill.
I don't know what's your surprising
for DJs. I mean, that's obviously that's a good one. Like the whole party versus normal life. I think here's an interesting one. I think a lot of DJ people, not all, but a lot of people think DJs like got into DJing because they love DJing, but almost like 90% of the DJs I know and our friends and stuff, they got into DJing by accident because they liked making music, so like they liked sitting in front of their computer producing for hours. They liked, making remixes. And then the career path is kind of like, oh, well, I'm not singing and playing guitar, so I guess my live show is I got to figure out how to be a DJ. I got to learn how to DJ.
That's kind of what it was for us. We were like posting stuff on SoundCloud, remixes, and we're starting to make our own original songs. And we literally each got some DJ hardware and software. We were separate at college. And like, we're like, all right, let's each like learn how to do this, get the basics down. Because that's like how to present
your work.
Our work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, there's starting to be like demand, nothing crazy, but we would get some emails of like, can we book you? And we're like, oh, I guess.
What
let's learn how to
do?
DJ. And then it was like, all right, you're kind of saying yes to every, even if you're going to barely break even once flights are part of it, it's like, all right, we got to like, use all these opportunities.
Yeah.
And so
we learn, we DJ at our own fraternities and, sometimes he would come to mine. I would go to his, we'd do stuff alone. So
it had some rough ones.
Oh my God, plenty. All part of the process.
Yeah. Who are some of your peers that you both look up to?
I mean, growing up, like when we were first getting into it, honestly, electronic music when I was like way younger was just not a thing in the US. Like, so that's not even something we even like knew about.
Were you listening to Blink-182?
Yeah, like definitely.
Bands?
Pop punk, classic rock, hip hop, like all that kind of stuff was huge, at least for me and him. But then once we were like graduating high school, is kind of when like, that was the first time I heard like Levels on the radio. I'm like, oh, what is this? This is pretty cool.
Is that when Clarity started?
Clarity,
Swedish House Mafia, like a lot of that stuff. Yeah, Zed,
2011.
11.
We grew up in LA. We would go to Coachella every year and go to the Sahara tent, which is where a lot of DJs usually play. And like, it was just kind of.
You didn't even really know we didn't even know what we were doing. We're just like, this is cool. Like we would see. I still remember like moments of like Cascade or
Porter Robinson,
Travis DJ.
Travis DJ was sick.
Yeah, Medion, like all these things like early on that definitely shaped our vision of like, what is this? Like, I don't even know. This is before we were making music together or anything. So we're just like, okay, this is like a slice of it. And I think our perspective and understanding of electronic music like shifted as it grew in the US.
Cascade's going to be at Coachella again this year.
Cascade's awesome. I mean, hey, I still have absolute memories in Sahara Tent, him playing Eyes. I was completely sober and I was just like, whoa. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of peers that I think you just automatically, like the people that just grind it out, you have like respect for, it's not easy. And to see some people that have like been grinding at it and making great music, but like for, maybe the touring hadn't connected, and then you see them get a little momentum and like they start getting on festival lineups and you kind of see them on like the circuit. It's always like very exciting to be like, you deserve it. You've been grinding. And so a lot of times when we're like picking support acts, when we're on our bus or whatever, it's cool to like, bring friends along and be able to, help people kind of, I don't know, get
the
torch. I mean, well, like also just like learn how to do shows. Like we've had so many acts that have been on our bus or do a couple shows here and there with us, and it's like the first show they do with us compared to like the last show, it's like, wow, they have like grown so much, like in terms of just how to put on a show. And the same thing for us, like it's always shifted over the years, but you gain just wisdom of like whatever you're walking into, you will figure it out,
As someone who has Vegas residency, let's say you're there for a Saturday night. What are you doing? You're not DJing.
All right, so
How
this
are you spending the
goes
free
back
time?
to the.
Oh, so we're not DJing at all.
not
It
DJing.
happens rarely, but it does happen every now and then where like we'll have an extra night in Vegas. And I would say again, it kind of I would say if there is someone we're friendly with and they're performing, we want to be supportive. Maybe we'll check it out. But let's pretend we're not allowed to go to the club.
Okay.
If we're not allowed to go to the club, then we're gonna get a team dinner for sure.
Where at?
We usually
Carbone?
stay in like the Win Encore property, and they have a lot of
There's
great
so many
places.
good
Maybe
options.
Delilah's for like a
great.
special night.
We really like for like a little more casual. It's this place called Wazuzu.
Mm-hmm.
Great,
Oh, yeah,
great. There's so many good ones though.
But then
I know what we're gonna do.
we're gonna go to like a magic show.
We're gonna go to a
Oh,
magic
I was
show.
going
Or
to say the
some- or
craps
some-
table.
We're gonna well, our tour manager is really of our crew the only gambler, and we'll have like a lobby call for dinner 7:30, and everyone will be in the elevator like down there, and he's just like, oh, I'm at my table, and
So we just pick him up. We scoop him up on the way to dinner.
the blackjack table that he's always at. So he's a gambler, but the rest of us are more like
Show.
we'll go to the
Yeah.
magic show.
We went a couple weeks ago. We went to the Sphere. We wanted to check it out, and unfortunately, it's so lame. But there wasn't a concert, so
Did you see the animal show?
we saw the nature show,
How
and
was
it was
that?
amazing.
Wow.
Like, I mean, I'm sure. I know a concert is going to be better, but like this was really cool.
I didn't get to see it.
I
I
wasn't
wasn't
there, but
yeah, I'm
we
still,
had
still
about half our team
fearless.
was there.
But yeah, but we've been to magic shows. We had to leave. Last Friday they went to
Yeah,
David
they saw
Blaine,
David
but we
Blaine
were in
without
LA.
us, yeah.
But
Who's the best magic show in Vegas right now?
I can't speak to the
They
best
love-
because
they
we haven't
love
been
David
to a lot.
Blaine.
They love
We-
David Blaine.
We saw
we've
Shin
seen
Lam.
Shin Lam, Colin Cloud.
Oh, yeah.
He was dope. There was a lot. I mean, so many talented people. It's crazy.
But it is funny because we're at the Win Encore, so we're either we're either at XS or EBC, and they have a lot of great restaurants, and they kind of hook it up for dinner. So like for as many times we've been to Vegas, which is probably between 50 and 100 times in the last couple of years, we cannot give you any advice of like fun things to do on the Strip besides our home base of Win Encore. But like we never really go to like downtown Vegas and I know that makes it sound really
We've done a
lame,
couple. We've gone to Golden Knights games.
Oh yeah, we did do that.
We DJ'd there. There's some cool stuff. So
Yeah.
like Vegas is happening. We've been to Allegiant for a Raiders
Oh
game.
yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
I went for a T Swift concert too. There's a lot. It's happening. It's not just tourism.
When you say they hooked you up for dinner there, what other perks come with a Vegas residency?
That's a good question. I think for every artist it's different. But you kind of get familiar. You know what the rooms look like. You know what to do.
Are you negotiating the best tower?
I think our agent at the end of the year they'll always be like, oh,
There's little things
let's
like they
get
know
a
that
suite. Let's do whatever.
we like to be
Yeah.
like near one of the elevators.
It's nice. Yeah, nice to be near an elevator.
Top floor or lower floor?
Honestly, I prefer lower because the elevators, it's hard to get. You might stop at every
These
stop.
are the major stresses in our life.
Big stress. No, but you get comfortable, and also from LA, it's like super convenient. Most of our shows end up being long flights to the East Coast or further, and Vegas is an hour. It's great.
But yeah, they hook it up with dinner. They have a
Yeah.
great team that kind of just there are guys.
Yeah, and you can
make
do
it- make
cool
the whole-
creative stuff like because you're there a lot. Maybe they'll try to do a different stage configuration, or like you face a different way and like test things out and kind of see, what reacts with the crowd.
Do you prefer a Vegas residency over a frat show?
They're so
Yeah.
different.
We don't do many frat shows anymore. Unfortunately, we've kind of like
We're
like
we're not
we-
against
We're
it.
not
It's just-
against it.
We ended up being a lot of more of the school shows and
Yeah,
stuff.
we try. I mean, it's not like we
Like
did
the
like
school put on shows?
Yeah.
we did. I think like we did that Cornell one last year.
Yeah.
So it's nice to do like
We did Alabama, but it got shut
Yeah, it
down
got shut
before
down
we started.
before,
How does that work? Did the frats just reach out to you directly? Or someone in the
they'll
frat
hit
knows
us,
you?
and that we'll
We'll
connect you
loop
with our
them in,
team.
yeah. But yeah, that was an unfortunate one a couple years ago where
You
someone-
got there?
we got there and we were like 5 minutes from starting, and then they just say, "Hey, it's not happening."
No, like someone threw a bottle or
yeah,
something.
someone threw
and,
a
like,
glass bottle, and
It became like a whole news story.
Yeah.
I didn't know until like a week later, but yeah, it was.
Were
like
you guys the focus?
no,
No.
we were inside.
Honestly, thank God we didn't go on because it would have been like dramatic
yeah.
for us. But it was we ended up hanging out with the guys and like we played some beer pong and
we were like the
We went back in time.
creepy older dudes. They're like, "Why are they still here?" Hey kids, you want to play beer pong?
no, it was fun. But yeah, I mean we love it all. Like I think we grew up doing the fraternity shows, and I think there's a special energy about them that you can't really recreate anywhere.
I interviewed Cascade, and one of the most interesting things that I thought, he said he builds his set list sometimes on his way to the show. How soon do you guys work on your set list to the gig that you're performing
Yeah,
at?
I think again it goes back to like what type of show and event it is. We've gotten like, the more shows you do, just naturally you kind of like learn things about. You can kind of predict things better. So when you
the
kind
crowd, the vibe.
yeah, and you're never going to be 100% accurate, but when you see, you're like, okay, we know that this Friday we have a show in this city. It's 90 minutes long. It's on this type of stage. It's outdoor or whatever. You can kind of just like in your head imagine like, okay, I think this type of vibe is going to work best. So we can kind of have a loose plan. And if we get there and, they actually want to go, they love heavier, bassier stuff. Cool. Let's, we could pivot a little and work that in more. Or, okay, hey, this is for whatever reason it's not clicking this way, and we got to, let's go a little more sing along. All these different like variations.
Are you both chiming in on this, building it
It's-
out?
Building it out, definitely. Like we'll have, he'll send screenshots. I'll give feedback, do this, that. But once it's actually happening,
Yeah.
if we try like the first song in like, a heavier song or I don't know, a more like minimal song, and we kind of see it's like right away we'll just be like,
Yeah, we have-
more of this, less of
I
that.
feel like we have little like micro movements. You'll kind of like just be like this or whatever. Like
Yeah,
like
no more of
don't
that.
play that one or like
yeah.
or and
Or-
we can kind of tell like, okay, let's adjust a little. And then I mean sometimes it's like we'll do, it could be like a birthday party that we did on like in the British Virgin Islands,
Yeah.
and it was like
That's
and it's
crazy.
impossible to really know what to expect.
Yeah,
So
well,
we're
how do you
like,
prepare for that?
you basically don't.
Honestly,
you basically
those are
have
the
like
hardest ones.
you basically have like a bunch of playlists.
Is that
and you're
for
like,
Prince?
no. But it was like, here's some songs that are like, if they're going hard and they really want to go hard, like here's a playlist. But if it's like kind of low key and you're just kind of a little more in the background, here's some of that. And then you kind of show up and you're like, okay, this is,
You always try to make,
yeah.
the biggest moment of the show. And if they're down to like, have a rager, we're always down.
we're always down. We have our saxophonist Casey with us all the time. So like
Every show.
every show. So like, sometimes what we think he's going to, there might be a show where it's like, hey, Casey, just like, I know we didn't tell you to do this earlier, but pop out one more time, like go out in the crowd. They're loving it. So yeah, we'll try to like, think of things to engage a little more and make it fun. And like, not that we're doing the most insane, unique stuff of all time, but we try to stand out a little and do things that you might not expect at any other DJ set.
What are your 2 hours before a show? Are you eating? Are you making sure you're hydrated? Do you have to go to the bathroom?
We each have very different routines. I will say I'll do like vocal warm-ups, stretch, get ready. Eli's more like throw his clothes on and he's good to go.
Separate
Yeah.
dressing rooms?
No.
I feel like we usually,
Well, if we're in the hotel,
we'll
we'll
usually show up already dressed. Yeah.
we'll usually show up. But hey, we've changed in
Yeah.
front of each other many
But I would say,
times.
sometimes I remember. So when we started working with our new manager at one point, it was the first show he had come to because it was during COVID. We started working with him, and when we were finally able to do some shows, he came out to one of them, and he actually was like nervous because we were in the green room and it's 15 minutes before the show. We're kind of just like sitting, just on couches or whatever. Our rider is pretty tame. Like we were probably eating like dried mango, having like coconut water.
Yeah, there was alcohol and stuff, but
we weren't even maybe drinking. It was like more for
participating.
our guests in our team, if they want to have something to drink. So we're kind of just sitting there like talking. There's no music playing or anything. And he's like, guys, like, are you ready? You're about to do like a show. And we're like, oh yeah, don't worry. And he was like, he had never seen a show, so he thought we're like gonna come out super like low energy and tame. And then we kind of just like, you kind of just feed off the crowd, obviously, but we also know how to just like when it's time to start, it's just pretty easy to just get excited and go out there and come out swinging. So luckily he didn't have to worry anymore. But
can you see it kind of being easy to get yourself lost in the nightlife of it all? Not necessarily you guys getting in it.
I mean, I could see. I think we used to drink more before shows for sure, like earlier on.
Yeah, as in heavy to where you were drunk on stage?
No, not like heavy, but like it was almost, you could use it as much of a crutch as you want.
The pregame.
Yeah.
But also we were still in college or just like a year out of college. So it was like, they were like our age. If we get booked at, let's say, a frat show, it's like you're hanging out with them and you don't want to, if they're all drinking or whatever, you want to, you want to be like fun and, oh yeah, we're down to party, because you don't want to be like, no, like,
right.
But
if you're using, if you're trying to feel loose, which is a thing, of course, and you need it, then I could easily see, falling off the deep end, because you're doing a lot of shows, you're waking up really early, missing flights, whatever. So, for us, I think now we're like so clinical about it. Like I will take before a show, like maybe one drink, usually zero.
What about for the Kings game?
Did
you go hard for that?
Probably zero.
Probably zero.
But we were hyped from the game.
Yeah, well,
we were drunk off the crowd.
That was more like, it was probably which period? It was near the end of the game.
It was between second and third.
Yeah, so we're just like, we're enjoying the game. It's like, oh, time to go. All right, let's go do this, and then we'll watch the rest of the game. But everyone has their own ways. Like we kind of, at this point, I've gotten pretty comfortable in front of a crowd dead sober. And that's actually a complete skill, like where you really have to get used to it, because some people could never do that, think they never could do that. And it's not like we were ever drinking a lot, but
it just straight up in terms of like, yes, the venues and people, they'll provide 5 giant bottles of alcohol that are just like sitting there. So it could, if you were interested, it's like very accessible. And it's almost like sometimes we even feel awkward because there's like a couple giant bottles of alcohol that we don't even open. We're like, you just like wasted money.
We probably wasted money.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We probably had to pay for those.
Yeah.
What's on your guys' rider?
I mean, it's also, so it kind of, half of it is meant for like hosting
the
people.
Friends.
Right. So like that's where,
I'll pull it up. We have some interesting stuff. You can give some of the
stuff, like I mentioned,
I mean, fun
we
ones.
love our dried mango, no sugar added. Otherwise it's just too sweet. We have, let's see, I like just boring sparkling water. We got some like chips and guacamole usually. We have, some alcohol and some beers and what else do we got?
Oh, we have some.
Then we got some of the fun stuff.
We
asked for a picture of 2 best friends.
Any two best friends.
Bert
People
get Bert and Ernie. We get all the time. We appreciate some creativity.
This is what it says. It's one photo of 2 legendary friends, real or imaginary. Examples: Jordan and Pippen, Woody and Buzz, Paris and Nicole. You and your best friend. Have fun with this one. Yeah.
And part of it is like usually they end up having fun with it, and it's like they're like, yeah, it was, I got to, me and my best friend, I printed this out at Kinko's or whatever. But like sometimes we also think about like the miserable intern who's like really tired and has to set up the green room. He's like, I have to print out a stupid picture of Bert and Ernie. Like,
yeah.
What is my life?
But we have, most of our stuff is, fun stuff. We have like drinks and everything, but yeah, big on the dried mango, organic, no sugar added. Big on, I'm a big coconut water guy. Love a good coconut water.
What about fresh from the coconut?
Even better.
Really?
Rare on a rider.
No one ever brings in the whole coconut.
I don't know if I've ever gotten a coconut on a rider. Have we?
I don't think we have.
If ever,
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
We've gotten some interesting things for sure. And
Oh,
we love
yeah.
when there's like a homemade touch to something. You know, if they bake a loaf of sour bread.
We got that. Some sourdough. Someone was a baker. They like gave it. It was delicious.
That's cool.
We ate half of it throughout the rest of the crowd. It's like birds. Yeah, I mean, we're always on the hunt for interesting, good, unique, or healthy, or whatever, things to add to the
And then like
menu.
maybe like a local trinket. You know, there's
From the area.
from the area. We have like we know this guy in our crew likes magnets. This guy likes this, so we'll see what they give us. And we're like, oh, Casey, take this home to your kids.
Oh yeah, Casey, our saxophonist, has like an underground lair in his house, and I think he just takes everything
Like
that
a trinket.
trinkets, like
Yeah.
random stuff from every city. It's almost like a museum.
It's cool though. Yeah, it's cool stuff.
Never been down there, but I know what he's taken.
On a tour bus, there's normally one big room in the back, or there's just a bunch of bunks.
Yeah.
There's two of you guys. How is your tour bus set up?
Good question.
I wish we could say that we share a bed in the back, but unfortunately,
Dang.
No, we're
the
all
truth
bunked
is, yeah,
up.
the back is not a bedroom. It's just like another back lounge
Hangout
area.
den.
So we just have the 12 bunks. We're all in bunks. We've done
Yeah.
Where do you prefer?
four buses now. We've always just been in the.
He's been in the same spot every time.
always
Top, mid, or
top,
bottom?
back left,
Okay.
but top, yeah.
First tour, I was top, back right, and I didn't like it because I felt like I was crawling up so much and then like falling out. So then the last three, I've been bottom right.
And
I-
you like bottom.
I like bottom because I could just crawl in. I don't have to stand up. And it was a little less, this on the bus. And it's kind of in the same seats for everyone. Like we've had two buses the last couple of tours, and it's been a lot of crew on one, and then a lot of artists,
The opening acts,
and our tour manager and assistant tour manager on the other.
You have two buses for your touring party?
The past couple
On the
times,
bus
yeah.
tours we've had, but my stack has literally the last
Yeah,
three
your
tours,
stack
it's
has
been
stayed the same.
me on the bottom, Greg our photographer in the middle, and Casey on top.
Yeah.
It's every single time the last three times, and you've had
Ben's always below
Ben,
me,
our tour
and he
manager,
snores a lot, which
and
is
then
tough sometimes.
and then this one's
That's
been
been a wild
rotating.
card, yeah.
Yeah, the bottom.
But yeah, it's fun. It's like, it's definitely hard and intense to be on the road for that long of a stretch continuously where you're like, you might be doing 5 or 6 shows in 1 week. But at the same time, you like going into it, if you almost think of it as like summer camp, and especially now that we've done 4 of them and a lot of the crew has been the same each time. So it's like our bus family. And so if you go in thinking it's almost like a summer camp adventure, definitely makes it a little more, doesn't feel like such a
You gotta lean in.
sludge.
It's a different. It's most of the time when we're touring, it's on the weekends, or you're still going home during the week. This is a completely different style of life, and you gotta kind of just like lean into it, or else you're gonna like be miserable. So I think we've grown into it more so throughout each tour. It's been, you get familiar with the team, you get familiar with the lifestyle, and
you know what to pack.
yeah, it's been easier for me personally each tour. Like the first one was super hard. Second one was a little hard too. And the last one was like, that was fun.
When do you guys start your shows when you're doing the tours where you're headlining?
It's
Like
earlier
what time of the
usually.
night? Or?
Yeah, is it still midnight throughout the middle of the country on
each
Tuesday?
City, each
Earlier.
city kind of has its own customs.
Right.
So I would say you're more likely on a weeknight to start a little earlier. So it might be like Tuesday night at 9:30 and
But
done by
sometimes
11.
sometimes it's a battle. We'll see
Yeah.
in 2 weeks, like this show on a Wednesday in this city starts at midnight. I'm like,
Goes till 2 a.m.
who wants that? Not me.
Um,
They definitely don't.
yeah,
So
so
we're
you-
like, yeah.
we have like, there's this app that a lot of touring artists use called Master Tour, and it has everything in this schedule, and you kind of just look, you look at the weekend, and you're like, oh, okay, Tuesday night, we're starting at 9, then we're
And-
starting at 11, then we're here, and
And there's no laundry here. There's
Yeah.
laundry here.
this one
and-
has catering, this
Yeah.
one no.
exactly.
Oh, that's all in the app. They
Yes, we kind of, you have to like, our tour manager and assistant tour manager kind of input everything, but yeah, it's almost like you kind of, every day is a mystery a little bit, and it's a little, it feels like teleporting because you climb into your bunk at the end of the night and you go to sleep while the bus is driving. So you wake up and you're in a new city, and you're like, okay, like,
Where am I?
we sometimes know where we are.
We know you are,
we know
but
where we're
it's
going, but-
pitch black.
Right, you're like,
You're
where
usually-
where's the venue? Are we in the parking lot, or we gotta go?
And if it's like a winter tour, which a lot of ours have been, it's like, all right, is there snow outside? Do I need to go get sandals, snowshoes? Which bags do you have to bring in? It's a complete logistical thing because you have multiple suitcases, multiple outfits. You got to be organized. It's not for the faint of heart.
Can we go back to that one show that you were talking about in the Virgin Islands?
Yeah.
Yes.
How does that come together?
That's just one of those ones where I don't know if it starts with they reach out to us or they reach out to our team directly, but if people reach out to us, we'll kind of just
Forward
loop
it
them
on,
in
yeah.
with our team, and then
If it works, it works.
If it works, it works, and we just get an email one day that was like,
Is that a birthday party? Is that a Richard
Yeah.
Branson birthday party?
It
Yeah.
was a birthday party where
And
it was this small island
Necker
that-
Island, which is
that Richard Branson
Branson's
owns
island.
it.
Oh, that's his island.
It's his
Yeah.
island, and you can rent it. There's like, I think it hosts like
There's a certain
100
amount of
people,
rooms.
75 people.
Yeah, like these
The
insane
massive
villas.
house, right?
Yeah,
He filmed a
there's
TV show there.
probably, but there's other villas around it, and like
so they rented
insane,
out the
like-
whole island and like all their
For like a
guests
week-long,
take it over for a few nights, and we
Crazy.
got to do it. And it was
But we didn't
cool.
actually stay on the island. We stayed on another
We stayed on
island.
another island. Got like
But we stayed there for a few days, had fun, and then
They boat
went
you
over
around
for
or
the
you're on a
show.
plane?
You had to take a boat. Yeah,
they
we
took-
boated.
boated to the or to their island for
Yeah,
the show.
it was a lot of.
But yeah, we
travel.
turned that one into like a little bit of a team retreat.
Yeah,
Where like our managers came, our agent came, and we all got a house together. And that's good to have every now and then, where it's just like enjoy life as a team.
To me, that's one of the coolest sounding
Yeah.
shows. Is there anything equivalent?
that was
that
a
comes
good
to
one.
mind.
And we were playing like tennis before that. It was just crazy.
Yeah, those ones are fun again, where it's like kind of
Richard Branson's
we
private
might-
island.
when else are we ever gonna wind up on Richard Branson's island?
Yeah,
So there's like the both sides of the spectrum, where one is like a show that's just very like meaningful and kind of like a career highlight, like a Coachella
more
or
stressful, but more
a
rewarding.
Madison Square Garden, a Red Rocks, where it's like just feels like very fulfilling. And then there's also the ones that are more just like, this is cool that music and DJing has led us to
Yeah.
be able to go to this country. We did Guatemala festival,
Yeah.
and we're like, wow, like we're performing like in this really cool outdoor festival. The mountains are in the background.
Never
and
been
it's-
here before.
We've never been to Guatemala, and it was like they were loving it, and we're like, this is cool too. We'll always remember this.
I'm
so
about
we
to
have.
piss myself. Could I go?
Yeah,
pee
go,
and
go,
come
go.
back. All right. Hold that.
Do I wait or do I keep talking?
Let's keep going.
Okay, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna talk about you.
Have you started the prep for Big Booty Land?
Absolutely, yeah. So, Big Booty Land has just become its own like massive undertaking where it just takes a lot of prep. So it's not until May, but we just announced it. So we're still 8 months away. But we start working on the actual mix and the music side of it. We start working on the stage design and the ideas for what we could do at the show to make it special. We're working on building out the lineup, getting friends to come.
Do you have in mind? You haven't announced anyone yet, right?
We haven't announced any of the lineup yet. What we did last time, which was really fun too, which we might try something similar, maybe the same. We opened for ourselves to start the night. So we did like a alter ego bass set, which was like heavier, a little more dubstep leaning.
Did people know that was you guys coming out?
Yeah. It wasn't like secret. We kind of announced it.
Just
but
mustaches?
yeah. But so it was cool. We basically like, as doors opened, we were the first act. And then it was a couple other acts. And then it was like our main show. But that was fun to kind of just start the night out early. So yeah, we have some fun ideas going for that. And then there's also like the more like experiential side too, where our vision for it, it's a process. Obviously we're trying to build it each time a little by little, but want it to feel, like our own festival. So eventually it would be cool to have, multiple stages and different genres and, maybe even multiple days. But for now we're trying little things like, activations and little areas to explore and cool photos to take. And like we have the mascots of the Big Booty characters walking around. And so it's been fun to kind of build that side up too. And kind of like, this is what a two friends universe where we're like involved in all these aspects can, this is what it looks like when it's brought to life.
Is there a schedule, or not so much proper, but is there like a time release in your head of when you want to release a new Big Booty mix?
So it started, I would say the Big Booty Lands definitely like kind of affected that schedule a little bit because of kind of just how much of a project they've become. And we really want to do it properly and not like cut corners. So it used to be that we were just focusing on finishing the mix, throwing it on SoundCloud, easy as that. And that was cool to be like a little more renegade of just like, whenever a mix is ready, cool, throw it up. do a little bit of teasing, but then get it up pretty much immediately. Especially in the days when like that was kind of, it was like earlier days of SoundCloud and just like a little more renegade. Now we're with the live element of it, we're a little more have to stick to certain, I guess, scheduling and just like availability of certain venues that we're going to do it at. So that's what, we try to fill the year as much as we can with like stuff. And that's a terrible word to use, but it's like, we have a lot of music that we've been pumping out. We've put out 2 songs in the past couple of months, and we have a new one coming very soon, and then a new one a little bit after that. So like we want to keep the pipeline of original music kind of constantly, have momentum there. We'll also touring and doing shows. We'll also, having fun little surprise stuff like a pop-up here and the bass set, like I mentioned. So I think that's like a fun part. It's definitely overwhelming because there's like endless things you could get your feet wet with, but it's also like the fun part of, like, let's do this, let's do that. Let's have all these ways where a fan of Two Friends can be part of the, experience.
Speaking of new music, I know you have a song coming out soon with Natalie Jane.
Oh yeah.
How does that collaboration come together? How do you guys figure out who you want to be part of the songs?
So every collab is I would say a different process. We've seen every which way. Sometimes you start an idea together. Sometimes someone sends something to the other person. This one, we've loved Natalie like for a while. Like we've been trying to do something. And we had this song that we were looking for someone just like her on. And I think we probably pitched her like 10 other songs like beforehand. And then finally this one she heard and she was like, okay, wait, let's do this. And she came over, absolutely crushed it, came to our studio. And we actually premiered it at Lala, which was insane, like crushed it. Like we had like, she came over and we had like 2 weeks to like basically get a final version after that because we knew we wanted to premiere in Chicago. And she was just, she's awesome. Such a good performer. She's awesome. And this song is super special. So we're pumped. Like she took it to a new level.
It's cool. It's definitely like feels a little different than some of our recent stuff in a cool, fresh new way where I think it was fun where it's like, I would hope, and I think it still has like the Two Friends flavor, but I think people will find it.
I think it'll be a cool one for us.
And fresh,
And she's awesome. And we actually did it. We had another random show we were on together, randomly, in Texas, and she did it live with us again. So, we're going to do more and more of that for sure.
And what's the date that it's coming out?
It's supposed to be November 7th.
Yeah. But I don't want to jinx it because we all know that release dates are fickle.
You never say a release date in the air unless you want it to change.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for making the time and coming by.
Dude, thanks so much. Great. This is great. We love chatting.
Cool. Guys, go listen to Two Friends.
I love that.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Hell yeah.